So in today's video, I will share 2 frameworks along with a list of techniques that I have learned in the past 5 to 6 years that have helped me build a personal brand, learn new skills, improve my confidence, and travel the world to meet new people. I will also give you free worksheets that you can print to plan your 2024 with full clarity. The link to download them is in description, so without wasting any further time, let's get started. Now before I go ahead, I just want to remind you that you already have a perfect track record of surviving the most difficult days of your life. And I know you might not be everything you wanted to be, but you're way more than who you were 3 years ago. And it could be better income, better friends, anything, but I'm super sure that in the last 3 years you would have gotten something to be grateful for. Now you need this realization to build momentum because this entire game is about maintaining momentum. So before you go all in, remind yourself that you're already far more than what has been done to you. And I'm starting this way because none of my frameworks will help you unless you are in the right state of mind. Now everyone talks about techniques, right? But I barely see majority people talking about the state of mind you need to actually apply those techniques. So with this context in mind, let me share my first framework, which is called audit. Audit stands for assessing, understanding, deciding, implementing, and tracking. But what exactly do we need to do here? Folks, your energy and effort are 2 of your most valuable natural resources. Now to use these resources, you need time. This entire game revolves around where you direct your energy, effort, and how much time you spend in that specific direction. Just hustling on random new things every month won't work. And remember, you don't need speed, you need velocity, which is speed with direction. So let's start with the first part of this audit, assessing. You need to make a list of things that are really important to you this year. It could be losing weight, learning a new skill, having clear skin, anything. Now, if you don't know where to start, you can always begin with my worksheet. Now, part 1 of this worksheet is about health. What you need to do is mark yourself from 1 to 10 and then figure out where exactly are you lacking. We are giving away 5 copies of Atomic Habits. You need to follow these 4 steps and top 5 entries will get a copy of Atomic Habits delivered to their doorsteps. This giveaway is only for viewers living in India. Bonus points if you print the worksheets. You'll find all details in description. Now it's super important that you fill up part 2 of this audit as well, because this is where we talk about things like upskilling. For example, for me, this year is about improving my diet and fitness. My bad diet keeps messing up with my skin and I want to fix that. I want to grow in my career but not at the cost of my health because I've been sitting for so long. Most of my work is on my desk, so I need to make sure that I'm more mobile. Now, if you want to audit yourself on specific headlines, then you can always use part 3 of my worksheet, where you can put a main heading followed by 3 subheadings and then you can audit yourself in individual skills. But just conducting an audit will not take you ahead. Because without the next step, this audit is absolutely useless. Because step number 2 is about understanding. Go to YouTube and shortlist 2 to 3 great YouTube channels that speak about areas you want to improve in. Go to Google and find out top 3 classic books in the domains you want to improve. Order all of them from Amazon. Keep 1 book on your work desk, 1 in your washroom, and 1 next to your bed. Get practical insights either from videos or from books and figure out how to improve in your weak areas. I saw this picture on Instagram and it made so much sense. Comment below if you agree to this one. Because if you spend time learning from your own mistakes, I'm telling you, you will spend years and years figuring stuff out. But if you watch just 10 to 15 YouTube videos in your niche, just read the most important 3 classic books in your domain, I'm telling you, you will get so much of progress in just a span of 3 to 4 months. But this is where the game starts, because you won't see any change in your life even after reading all of these books and YouTube videos. For real change, you need to move to step number 3, which is determining. You need to set super specific habits and goals for each area where you want to improve. If I want clear skin, then I need to make sure that I have 3 liters of water every day, skip my dessert, skip anything that gives me more allergies, wash my face before I go to sleep. I think you get the gist of it, right? If I want to become a better freelancer, then I will have to read documentations. Maybe it would be the Apple HIG guidelines or the material design guidelines, or just study mental models for at least 30 minutes daily. I will outreach 15 profiles daily. It could be anything, right? So you need to build a set of habits that will take you closer to your goals, because determining what you're ready to give in to get your price is supremely important. And you need to set a 10-day timeline just to see if you're able to sustain those habits, and pick one habit at a time. You can use an app like Todoist, or just print a worksheet and stick it to your room's entry. Now for habit tracking, I have printed this sheet right here. You can put the habit number on top and then describe what your habit is about, and then you can mark for every single day. So I have given you an option to mark for 30 days, but trust me, even if you follow this for 10 days, you will get that momentum. Also, don't set timelines for output driven goals. You can only set input goals, things that you can fully control. If I say I want 100k followers on LinkedIn in 3 months, that is an externally driven outcome. In reality, I have no control on whether I will get 100k followers or not. But if I say that I will post 3 times a week, I will always post in text with a good picture along with it. I will comment on at least 5 relevant posts by creators who are in the similar domain. Then all of these become input goals. These are all input habits, right? Which will eventually lead to 100k. So you need to make sure that your step 3 is about determining all the good habits and processes you need to establish. But you will not get these insights. You will not know what to do unless you do step 1 and step 2 well. Now 90% of you will fail after this step. Why? Because most of you would not follow step number 4, which is actually implementing. Just go and follow what you've determined in step number 3. Now, if you face issues while sustaining these habits, while picking up these habits, figure out how you can reduce friction towards approaching these habits. And I learned this from Atomic Habits, right? If you feel like you want to read Atomic Habits, it's a great book to just, get better habits in life. For example, if you have trouble documenting or journaling, have a good looking notebook and a pen always ready near your desk or your bed. If you forget to eat healthy, have dry fruits and seeds and healthy items next to your bed. If you have a sedentary lifestyle, then have a trampoline or a bench right in your office. If your back hurts, invest in a standing desk. If you don't drink enough water, just have a big water bottle and a glass at your desk at all times. This is what I have been doing. I have also installed an app to remind me because I always carry my phone. But if my glass is right in front of me, then it's always a great reminder. So these are small ways where you can reduce friction, where you can design an environment that fosters your growth, that actually helps you stay consistent with your good habits. Now, once you've completed all the 4 steps, you have to come to step number 5, which is tracking. Now, I know this is slightly tedious, but I'm telling you folks, it will really help you build that momentum, to keep track of your momentum and actually feel happy about your progress. It is the best way to trigger your mental reward system. You need to have either a physical diary or a virtual diary, basically a journal where you can note down how many days have you followed the practice. If possible, once you're about to sleep, just take some time and just journal how was today. What all did you learn? How is this day different than all the other days? Now you can obviously document in whatever way you want, but I have created this worksheet right here that you can use every single day. So you can print multiple copies of this, and this already has some very important questions that you need to ask yourself before you go back to sleep. In fact, you won't believe I have actually taken this entire tracking thing to a next level, because I have tracked down things or places or food items that make me feel happy, and I have also documented things that make me feel sad. So there are some items in my list that you can also check out, because you will get an idea, because anytime I feel low, I would just go back to this list, right? So I have, stuff like when I meet my friends or when I watch a great documentary. I recently watched Beckham, which was an absolutely great documentary, and I feel so inspired, listening to old Bollywood songs, when I learn something new, or when I watch movies, or when I write down my goals, or just go to someplace fancy. And you can do the same for food items as well, right? So make a list of food items that make you happy, and vice versa. Now, I'm not saying that you use this and exploit this list again and again anytime you feel sad, but trust me, for me, it is a great way, because I have like very harmless things even in my food list, right? So it's probably like a McChicken burger with like peri peri fries and ice cream and cold coffee and stuff like that, like simple stuff. On the other hand, I also make a list of food items that make my body feel bad, or just more gastric. Trust me folks, you will thank yourself when you need this list. Now, I am 100% sure that you're not drinking enough water. I'm telling you, we all think that we're drinking enough water, but we are absolutely not. I'm also sure that majority of you are not completing your 10,000 steps. I am also guilty of this. I will show you my step count. It has been terrible. But some days I improve, some days I fall back, like things keep on happening. Also, my screen time has also been really high, so I'm trying to reduce that as well. And I keep telling people that, they should probably rebrand screen time as lost attention. Because if you see 8 hours of screen time, that is basically your attention lost for another 8 hours. And I will put my own screenshots as well, just to give you a tentative idea that I am also not perfect. Most of you think that just because Ansh is making these videos, he's probably, very sorted, and he gets his water hydration levels, he gets his 10,000 steps, he gets his screen time low. Doesn't work like that. I am also learning, and I want you guys to learn with me. But I would recommend you to download an app that helps you track these things. So I think in iOS, Health app allows you to track your steps. I know that they also help you track screen time. For water, you can download any app that keeps reminding you to have water. But then a lot of you would be wondering that, Ansh, how do we keep ourselves motivated all the time? Because you've given such a long list of tasks. What to do when we are no longer interested in our goals, right? And I know that. I know what you're talking about, because I also lose motivation from time to time. But I've found a solid way to fix it. The solution is my framework number 2, which is DREAM. DREAM stands for define, represent, energize, affirm, and motivate. Let's start with step number 1. You need to decide top 3 goals you want to achieve in the next 6 months. Set a habit of writing down just 3 goals daily. Now, these could be the same 3 goals. I usually have 3 goals for a quarter, and every alternate day, or every, at least 3 times a week, I would write down the same goals. And once I write down these goals on a piece of paper, I spend just 60 seconds visualizing myself achieving those goals. So you need to do the same. You need to write down these goals and then sit down in a peaceful room and just close your eyes and strongly visualize yourself achieving those goals. Then you need to ask yourself, what do I need to become to achieve these goals? And trust me, if you stay silent for just 4 to 5 minutes, your mind will start giving you clues. Your mind will tell you what are the traits of the person you want to become. Because the person that you aspire to become, there's not a lot of genetic delta or a lot of intellectual data. It is simply about their decision making, their mindset, where they are physically, emotionally, mentally. So you need to figure out what are the habits, what are some practices that I can inculcate in my own personal life that will help me become that person. And it starts from very small habits. And once you start getting these clues from your own mind, you will start defining exactly what you want in life. Now, let me give you an example of this. Don't just write, I want many high-paying clients, I want a lot of freelance clients. No. Say, I want 3 freelance clients based out of the US that pay me above $500 each per month for iOS mobile UI design, probably in freelance or educational sector. Notice how I am so super specific. It is literally you prompting yourself. If you've been to my channel, you know how well we prompt AI, right? It is high time that you now learn how to prompt yourself, how to prompt your real intelligence. Because if you understand how to prompt your real intelligence, prompting artificial intelligence is going to be secondary. Notice one more thing, that in my wish, I am not only saying what do I want from the opposite person, I'm very specific about the exact service I am willing to give them. Because nobody will pay you even $10. Forget $10, people will not even pay you a single rupee until unless you give value to them. So it all comes down to how good you are at what you do and how good you are at pitching yourself and positioning yourself. Once this is done, we will come to step number 2, which is about representing. You need to represent your ideas and your aspirations visually. How does your ideal life look like? How does your ideal fitness look like? How do you want your life to look in general? Right? You need to be as specific and clear as you can be. And I would 100% recommend you to make a vision board. If you don't know what is a vision board, you can always go to YouTube, go to Google and figure it out. It's just a collage of pictures of different items. It's like a mood board, but for your life. And you can use a tool like Canva or Microsoft Word or, Google Documents or even Figma. I have made my vision board on Figma. It is really, really helpful if you can print it or frame it. I usually have it on my iPad, on my phone, and I keep looking at it before I go to sleep. I've just started this habit again. I used to do it in my college days. Now I have started again, and it's very, very powerful. Now, Pinterest is a great website to get relevant pictures. I personally find a lot of inspiration for life itself on Pinterest. So you can always have either your own Pinterest board or create your own vision board and start writing down your goals anytime you're about to go to sleep. And I always have a notebook and a pen next to my pillow. So by the way, this is a new setup. This is my own bedroom. And yes, I have a logo of Ansh Mehra in my bedroom, and I had invested in this before I had any money to even redesign my studio, because I realized that if I don't believe in my brand, then who else will? And some people made fun of me. Now they don't, because now they're like, oh, now your room looks so cool. But yeah, folks, this is how it begins, right? You have to believe in yourself first, and then the universe reflects your own belief in yourself. Once this is done, we will come to step number 3, which is about energizing. Now, I can have a dedicated video on just this topic, but because we have limited time, I will not go too deep. But the bottom line is that you need to make sure you have high energy to execute on your dreams. And anytime you think about your dreams, add emotion to it, add intent to it, जिसको नियत बोलते हैं in Hindi, right? Because without emotion, without a very strong desire to get what you want, you will not have enough motivation or energy to just chase them, right? When I wanted to change my life in 2019, I was completely filled with the desire to change my life, right? And in 2021, I was so angry and furious about so many aspects of my life, right? I never complained. I was just extremely furious. And that anger and that furiousness helped me hustle more. Now, I'm not sure how healthy it is, but it certainly worked for me. And I have to be frank with you, right? I was really, really annoyed with my life, and that anger helped me become better. For example, a few years ago, I wanted to change my studio. So I used to work from my storehouse on the terrace. And I was like, dude, if I make YouTube videos with this, people will not take me seriously, right? This is not representative of who I want to be. So I literally visualized every single detail about my studio, and I saved money for around 9 to 10 months, and I renovated every single part of it. In fact, these are the pictures. This is how my studio looked. In fact, if you were to go to the 15-episode UX design course, you'd realize that I used to use Loom to crop my room because I was just so embarrassed. I should not have been embarrassed. Now that I look back, I realize that I should not have been embarrassed. But as a designer, I just wanted to have a certain aesthetic of my room, and I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to have my own money to do it, have my own freedom to do it, and I had such a strong desire to do it, right? And there were so many things that I wanted to change in my parents' house as well. And by sheer force of thought, by sheer strength of my desire, and then of course working, I was able to save enough money in another set of 8 to 10 months and execute the entire makeover. Just to give you a quick example, this is how it was before and this is how it was after. And all of these before and after pictures are not to boast. I have not done anything massively amazing in my life. All of my friends are way ahead of me. This is just to give inspiration to someone who is maybe in school or in college, and maybe you think that it is not possible. Maybe you're thinking that, dude, is this even real? Can you actually learn a skill and make money and improve your house and improve your bed and improve your parents' life and actually help your mother travel or, buy better clothes? And can you do this on your own? And I am showing you pictures just to show you that it is possible. right? And if you're here for the first time, I'm pretty sure you have not seen our previous videos. I would totally recommend you to go check out our Improve Your Life playlist. That will give you more details into this. But yes, coming back to the video, after you've finished step number 3, after you've added enough emotion, intent, and niyat to your actions and to your discipline, we will come to step number 4, which is affirm. Now, affirm means you need to remind yourself and tell yourself that you can do it. It is how you talk to yourself. And it is very unfortunate that most people do not know how to talk to themselves when they're spending time with themselves. And I was one of those people. I used to be terrible to myself. Today, I sleep and wake up saying the same things to myself. I thank God and I reaffirm my goals to myself. I almost brainwash myself, right? Sometimes when I'm bathing with like extremely cold water, just to get distracted, I would think about my goals. So once I'm pouring that chilled water on myself, just to feel more motivated, just to feel more strength, I would remind myself, what do I want to achieve in this quarter? I know it sounds very weird, but I have done it. Now, in the end, step number 5 is to motivate yourself. Folks, if you keep hustling and don't reward yourself, your brain will just stop trying, because your brain actually needs regular rewards to feel happy. So I give myself treats all the time. If I don't feel like working, I would take a break. I do a lot of shopping. I eat anytime I want to. Like if I want to go out and eat at a good place, I would do that. I would invest heavily into experiences. I reward myself. I have very little savings, to be honest. I have reinvested every single thing that I have into this computer, into this camera, into this light, into hiring better people for my team. Everything I've reinvested back. And whatever money I have, I spend it on traveling. I spend it on going for conferences. I spend it gifting to people, and just because I just enjoy it. I'm not saying to spend all of it. You need to save at least 10% of what you earn, but remaining all of it, I have always invested in myself and in my own experiences. And I keep looking at my vision board to remind myself, why am I even doing this? Right now, even though I've said this multiple times in previous videos, I would just like to mention this again, that you won't be able to sustain this unless you take care of your nutrition, sleep, and mental health. I've already shared a lot of these tips on my channel, but there are 3 things that you can start today itself. And by focusing on these 3 things alone, you can improve your energy levels within 10 to 12 days easily without any external medication. Number 1 is breath work. There's a huge chance that you have very low oxygen levels. If you can, invest in a snake plant in your house. If you have more budget, then 100% invest in an air purifier. There's this video on YouTube which is called Wim Hof breathing. I would strongly recommend you to do that. I have been doing it for quite a while and it's a game changer for me in the mornings. Number 2, blood flow. Basic jumping or clapping, or just having something like a trampoline in your house would be a huge game changer. I got mine from Decathlon. It costs around 2,500 3,000 bucks, but anytime I feel like I've been sitting for a while, anytime my back starts to hurt, I would just like stretch my body and do something on the trampoline. It's a fun way. And number 3, the last thing, is hydration. You need to just download an app on your phone. I'm telling you folks, either keep a big bottle of glass. If that doesn't help you, just have an app. Please make sure as soon as you wake up every single day, specifically in winters, have a big glass of warm water as soon as you have brushed your teeth. If you have a budget, invest in a kettle and a big mug. Like I have a really big black mug and a kettle, and I just warm quickly fatafat in the kettle, and I make sure that I finish that big mug. And the big mug is important because if you are drinking in a small glass, you would drink 2 glasses and then you'd be like, oh, this is enough. Whereas in reality, the size of the glass itself is too small, right? And I saw a very interesting tweet the other day, and it said, I used to think coffee was a grown-up drink. Then I thought alcohol was a grown-up drink. Now I have finally achieved full enlightenment to understand that it is water that is the grown-up drink. So yes, with that, we conclude this detailed roadmap on how you can make 2024 the best year of your life. I hope this video helps you plan your year in the most effective way possible. We've made a lot of videos in our Improve Your Life playlist. I also have a podcast called Take It Easy where you can literally go back and see what I was doing and how I was navigating my college life as a fresher. And I really hope you end up downloading these worksheets because it took a lot of time to design these, and it is really helpful. I wish I had something like this. The only reason why I made these is because I know how valuable this can be for a college student who's just confused and has no guidance. If you're here for the first time, make sure you click on subscribe and hit the bell icon because we regularly come up with videos on upskilling yourself, UX design and AI. Let me know in the comment section if you like this video, and let me know if you want similar videos like this. I rarely make motivational content. Most of my content is around UX and AI, but I also feel that these topics are very, very important to discuss openly. A lot of you have still not subscribed to our channel, so folks, please subscribe to the channel because so many of you just come and go, and we really want your support to grow our channel this year. With that being said, again, I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out. If you like this episode, then make sure you watch the next one in this same playlist right here. We've been making some amazing content, and I'm pretty sure that you will also like the next video in queue.